Hey, everyone. I hope you're doing real good. I told you guys that I had done a story through an AI system, and had a couple of people that wanted to go all negative on AI, even though, I mean, it's just like reality. It's, AI is going to exist. It's not going to, I don't believe, take away your job or replace us. But anyway, I found this to be wow, like wow. I gave it a couple of lines to give it the idea of the type of story that I wanted to see, and it did the rest. I'll tell you, the first part that I gave it is looks like 3 lines. I said, "This is a story about the power of love, the magical power of love. Unconditional love can change everything around you and heal the world." That's it. That's what I told the AI, and that it was to make a story about that. Okay, here's the story. I'll go ahead and just read it. Now, there's, of course, it's not perfect. It is a machine. It's not human. So there are some mistakes in here that I wouldn't put in here. There are some references that I don't know where they came from. But anyway, it is like the thing knows me and knows the things that I've been doing just from those simple lines that I gave it. Anyway, I was standing on top of a hill in the middle of nowhere when I heard a voice that sounded like music to my ears. There, standing before me, was a beautiful creature, the likes of which I had never seen before. His hair was long and silky. His eyes were bright green with the bluest of skies behind them. He wore a white robe that flowed around him as if he were made from it. And yet, despite this, there was something familiar about him. I was paralyzed with astonishment. Was this real? Then he spoke. His voice was like music, and he said, "You have been on a worthy journey, my friend, a journey to attain unconditional love, and I am here to reward you for your efforts. You are now ready to take up the task of saving the planet." I stood stunned for a moment, then began to laugh. Save the planet? Why do you think, who do you think you're kidding? The most I do is talk about unconditional love and try to remind people that they are loved. How could I possibly save anything or anybody? I'm just an old guy who is trying to find his way back home. It's quite close to home there. The creature smiled at me, and I felt my heart melt into butter. His smile was so warm and loving, it made me feel safe and secure. "Come down off that hill, you fool," he said. "You don't know what you're talking about." Now I knew he wasn't making fun of me because he didn't sound angry. I started down the hill toward him. Just what and who could this be, and what exactly does he really want with me? As I came closer, I saw that he was holding out something in his hand. It appeared to be a small stone with some sort of writing etched on it. As I reached him, I took the stone from his hand and studied it carefully. The engraving was very intricate and showed a tree surrounded by a circle of animals. I looked up at the being again, and he held his arms open wide. "Take my hands," he said. "I will lead you down the path of unconditional love." I held out my hands, and he placed one hand on each of them. We walked down the hill together, and as we did, I felt as though we were moving through a field of energy. "I knew love was an energy, but I had no idea you could move through it like this," I said. "Well, you see, I'm not really here," he replied. "I am part of the universal consciousness." "But how can you be part of the universe and still be here?" I asked. "There is nothing to explain. I am only a symbol of what is." "What is?" Love, he said simply. How is that possible? Mankind has complicated and dirtied my name through religion, hate, and fear for so very long, but as you see, I still burn bright as ever. Yes, I thought love was energy too, I said. Yes, you are correct. Love is indeed an energy, but it is much more than that. Love is life itself. It lives, it creates, and it is always here for everyone. It is truly part of everyone. You see, we are all one. When you refer to God, you refer to love. It really is not complicated. And if I accept unconditional love, then I will be able to save the world? I asked. He stopped walking and turned to look at me. That's right. You must love unconditionally. You must love unconditionally, though. Loving the unlovable and also yourself. Forgiveness is key to this. Forgiving myself? Of course, you must forgive yourself for believing the lies of others. But most important is forgiving the past. This is where you will find your freedom. Let me show you something else. He stepped aside, and there I saw a giant, towering, ancient tree. It had an indentation in its bark that was the same shape as the mysterious stone he had given me earlier. There was also a circle of animals carved around the tree. This is a symbol of creation, he said. The tree represents all living things. The animals represent the different aspects of nature. Each animal has its own special place within the circle. Together, they create the tree and sustain it. Their energies support and feed the tree. It is a perfect symbiotic relationship. But doesn't the tree need sunlight? The tree gains all it needs from the power and energy of love. So why does the sun exist? Because without it, there would be no life. Then isn't the sun God? No, the sun is merely a symbol of the light and energy of love. Love is not a thing, it is an experience. If you can let go of the past, you will be free to live fully in the present. You will learn to forgive those who have hurt you, and you will learn to love yourself completely. But how do you truly forgive the worst actions of a broken person, I asked. Unconditional love will set you free. It will allow you to forgive and be forgiven. I don't get it. I already do that. You do it with others, but when it comes to yourself, you still believe the lies of the past. I guess so, I said. It's hard to imagine that someone like me could ever be lovable, but I'll give it a try. You have done well so far. Now just let go of the past and love yourself as you deserve to be loved. You will learn to trust your inner wisdom and follow your heart. What do I do with this stone? I asked. Put it into the indentation in the tree. I put the stone into the indentation, and immediately a soft light emanated from the tree and radiated outward. It seemed to fill the entire valley in which I stood. I've never seen anything like this before, I said in astonishment. It is the magic of unconditional love, he replied. Is this what I have to do to save the world? Yes, but first you must be willing to make peace with the past. I thought you said I needed to forgive my parents. There's an odd one. I don't know where that came in. Yes, but you must also forgive yourself. Everyone has been hurt by someone at some point in their lives. Your parents may have done terrible things, but it is not your responsibility to fix them. You must focus instead on healing yourself and learning to love unconditionally. And that will radiate out as this light does, healing the world? Exactly. When does this happen? It is happening now, but it will continue as long as you live. It will heal the world slowly over time. That's the great mystery of unconditional love. And will it then continue on when I am gone? Yes, it will be passed on to whoever it is meant to carry on, although many will fall away along the way. Eventually the cycle will begin again. The lesson will never end until the whole of humanity learns to live in harmony with one another and with the earth. Thank you so very much for sharing this knowledge with me. I truly love you. I love you too, he said with a smile. Suddenly, I remembered the stone he had given me. I took it out of the indentation in the tree and looked at it closely. Is this what I need to save the world? I asked. No, the stone is not necessary. It is merely a symbol of love, but you will need it soon enough. Why? You see, the stone is made of two pieces. One half contains my energy, the other yours. When you use your energy to heal others, it will help me heal the world. Great! I'd rather not wait any longer than I have to. I'm very excited to begin. Will you take me home now? The creature nodded. I will take you home. Just remember to love yourself and forgive yourself. It is the only way to true freedom. I awoke the next morning feeling rested and full of energy, love bursting from my entire being. Isn't that incredible? I mean, there were things like suddenly bringing up the parents, which just was out of the blue, and a few other strange moments in there that didn't seem quite right. But overall, a computer, an AI, took my premise and came up with some things that I've come up with myself. It's fascinating to me. I as I read it, I was just wow. I mean, saying that I was on this quest for unconditional love. I didn't say that in it. I just said the only mention I did of unconditional love is saying unconditional love can change everything around you and heal the world. That was my statement. But it really touched on some interesting things. I wanted to share that with you guys because I found it so interesting. I'll put up the link to the AI that created this, and you can check it out yourself. There's I think you can do one or two free. This was one of the free ones. It is very cool, and it makes me think, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. We can talk about it another time, but boy, I can go with most of what that says. I I'm really blown away by it, as you can tell. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Let's talk about it. Talk to you soon. Love you very much. You all have a good evening.